viewers, welcome to the MNK show. In this show, we have a special guest and he is Anant Acharya. Uncertainties are very common nowadays in life and this story is all about that. In this video, Anant is going to talk about an uncertain situation that happened in his life. How he faced it, how he overcame that and what is the lifestyle that he is living now. Hi Anant, welcome to the MNK show.
Hi Navin, thanks for inviting me. I'm glad to be part of the MNK show.
I'm really happy because I'm going to share your story with the viewers and this story is very important because this is something which nobody will expect in their life and let's go. So tell me Anand, so before you were diagnosed with that particular disorder or that uncertainty that happened in your life, how was your life before that?
Well, Navin, I think it was perfectly fine. I had no symptoms. I was very active. I was doing my daily routine. And when I got to know, I was like, I just drove 500 kilometers. I came back from Udupi, and then I had some, medical issues with vomiting and all this thing, and then I realized that I have something, issue. So I was pretty active and no symptoms. I was perfectly fine. But then I got to know after certain investigations, then I realized there is something problem in my health, and then I had to face it.
Okay. So when you got to know that, okay, this happened, did you think back, I don't do this, I was really active, I was a healthy person, but why did this happen to me? So how was that particular moment for you?
Well, it was very, I would say, a shock for me to be frank, because I was non-drinker, non-smoker, pure vegetarian, and that question comes right, why me, right? But then I had to face it. My wife was with me. She was a strong supporter. My family members with me, and with God grace, we had that confidence that we have to overcome this, because we have seen a lot of uncertainties in life, and as a sudden it comes to you as a shock. It will be a little bit of hiccups earlier. What should I do? A lot of thoughts pour in your mind. A lot of advices you get in a nearby, your friends, and so on and so forth. But with God grace, as I said, my family was together. I had a lot of my doctors as a cousins. They also consulted me, and I also, had a lot of discussions around the various people. And I was okay. I had a problem, and I had to face it, and that's what I confidence got from me and with my family. Yeah.
Okay. So generally, in Indian families, the first thing that we do is think about home remedies, right? So when you had the symptoms of puking, all those things, what did you think? Is it something a normal vomiting and stuff? And what was the remedies that you took?
Well, as I said, I was traveling and came back, and then I thought it was a journey issue, or it was a food indigestion and all that stuff, right? But it was a long duration. It was not a 1 day, 2 day. It happened, and then post 6 months, we had a pandemic, right?
Okay.
And that also something was mentally disturbed for me, because physically you can't be a little bit allocated, and we had to be very restricted in our own premises and all that. Initially, I thought to take some remedies at home, but then later, after investigating, as I said, we had a series of investigation. Then it turned out to be that my kidneys were not functioning.
Okay.
And my doctor had given me an option: either you have to be mentally prepared for dialysis, or you have to be planned for transplant, early transplant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So apart from puking, what other symptoms you had?
So in general, I had puking, but what I've seen in this scenario, especially for kidney disease, it's a long, prolonged disease where slowly and steadily your kidneys start decaying, and at the end stage, it gives you the symptoms like foamy urine. When you pass your urine, you pass like a soap water. I mean, it's a foamy urine.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
So you have to keep an eye on that. Number two, as I said, when you eat food, you not feel like eating. When you want to eat, you start like puking. That's the second common symptom. And third symptom is you have your legs, swollen. So you'll have your legs, your hands sometimes. Those are three common symptoms which you see in these scenarios.
Okay. So all this uncertainty happened, all those things happened, but when we generally share this with our close friends, I mean, sharing with friends is more easier than sharing with family.
True.
So how did you take the courage to share this with your family? It must be really difficult, right?
It was, as I said, couple of sleepless nights. In fact, I was a bit hesitant to talk to my wife as well, and I was literally, whole night I was thinking what to do now, because I was the only earning person in the family. We had a joint family. I had a 3-year-old baby at that point of time, pandemic around and all the stuff. But then I took a pause, and then my wife she was observing me, and then she was like, "What happened? You know, why are you so disturbed?" And then I told her this is what happened when I went to doctor, and then she said, "Yeah, oh, is it? Let's go and talk to again. I'll come with you."
Mm-hmm.
And then both discussing, because we had that glad, a good bond where she also said, "Okay, I'm there with you. Don't worry, we'll see, figure it out. We'll have a follow-up discussion and see what best we can do."
Mm-hmm.
And that confidence with my wife together, and then we discussed with our family, my parents, my in-laws, and then we as a decision took, okay, let's take a couple of opinions and see how do we face it.
Okay, okay,
So that helped me to think about what needs to be done the next step.
okay. So, Anand, so this phase between you getting to know that you have this kidney disorder and the treatment phase, that must have been very difficult for you and your family to take the decision whether to go with transplant or other options that are available. So, how did you come up with the decision to okay, let's start with the treatment, let's not wait any longer, let's start? How did you come up with that decision?
As I said, Naveen, I did consult a couple of patients who had gone through a journey. That gave me a little boost up. That okay, they are also there. And always, what we think our problem is a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a problem and you talk to the other persons, you get to know that your problem is not a big problem, because you have seen a lot of when you talk and talk to the community. So you get to know. So that was one thing when I talk. Okay, I realized that there are some other challenges as well, and I am at least grown up, little bit of have some income, and I can face that. That little bit of confidence I got.
Yeah.
And then after that, as I said, we had a family doctor where she's my cousin, so she had consulted me again with her nephro. We had a lot of serious discussion, and then we had to come up with the best decision what needs to be done, because I was pretty young. I was 33, 34 at that point of time. And as is the early journey of my kidneys are affected, for a long time, what would be the best treatment? So then after discussing with the doctors, multiple discussions, community, we thought, let's go with this. Yeah, it's a tough journey. But that is what God gave me a little bit of confidence to go to think about, okay, let's face this and go about it. That's what I ended up with the decision.
So you chose a transplant.
Yeah.
What if you had an option to choose dialysis? What would be that journey?
I would say it would be a tough journey, because after consulting doctor as well, they recommended for me for transplant rather than dialysis. The reason being the young age, number one. Number two, in dialysis, the problem is you are dependent on someone, right? And there are a lot of restrictions with the food what you eat, the water intake what you have, and the activity what you do around. Yeah, that's one challenge. Third thing is that you don't always be on dialysis sessions, and this lasts for 4 hours. So basically, what dialysis does is it pures your blood, right? Which is impure blood.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have a creatinine which gets increased in your body. So you have a machine. You have to go to a hospital, get it admitted for 4 hours. They'll pluck if you can see, this is a fistula. They will insert your needle. You'll clean your blood for 4 hours, and you pure your blood and come back. So this is an artificial situation where you have to go 3 days, 2 days in a week as per your health condition. And anything you're cleaning your body with an external source, it's not good for long term. That is what I was hearing a lot of feedbacks.
Okay.
I would not say it's a easy option. That is also a second option. But considering my age is young, I would recommend the community who are in my age young, if you have a donor or if you are in a donor list, please recommend for transplant, because you come to back to your normal life. With dialysis, a lot of restrictions with the food, with eat, what you do, and all that. And that's gave me a thought process. Okay, rather than waiting and going for dialysis, let's go for a transplant.
Yeah. And especially when it comes to health conditions and any kind of medical related stuff. Now what people think is that all the multi-specialty hospitals, all those things, they have a lot of technology, treatments, doctors, specialties, all those things. The first thing that they think is about expense.
True.
Right? Financially, okay, if a family or if a person is financially good, they will not think much. They will go ahead and take the treatment. Let's say people who do not have any financial stability or the financial background. Now in your family, you said that you are the only person who was earning, right? So how did you face that challenge financially?
It was a tough, but glad that I had a health insurance taken, which is top up, And again, I would encourage people to see, in case if you're a corporate or wherever you are, if you have an option to do a top-up insurance, that is always helpful for you, because the problems or dangers knock your door anytime, right? So yeah, I had one. I would say a good, with God grace, I had one option. At least I had a top of insurance, which I would say not completely, but it took 80% of my expenses. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So glad that I'm part of a good organizations where they also a little bit helped on me on that.
Mm-hmm.
So one is the insurance helped me, and the savings. So yes, savings. Sometimes we say, why do we need to save, especially young generation, right? We just come, stay, enjoy your life. But as I said, the problems will knock your door in time. So a little bit you should have a savings. So I had some savings. I had some insurance top up that helped me at least financially. Made me a little bit independent. Yes, they will definitely had a lot of expenses post that, around that, because you have to go through legal process, medical process, and then you are disturbed financially, mentally, right, doing these processes. So yeah, it was a difficult journey to be prepared for financial and all that. But yeah, as I said, these couple of things which had supported, and I was prepared for that, and I was having it. It helped me a little bit in the journey. But there are some persons I've seen, next to my bed, when I recollect one of my transplant patient, and he literally sold his farm because he had no other source of income.
Okay.
So he had to sell his land for his transplant.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some situations there, and then couple of other community we have seen, they apply for government schemes. So yeah, there are some schemes, some state government schemes that also a little bit help. There are a lot of NGOs who do a fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the few common platforms which people think about financially and be ready for that.
Yeah. So now we are in city like Bangalore, so we know these NGOs that help all those things. Uh, Say for example, if a person who is in a village, how will he know all these things? It's really difficult, right? So my next question would be, I think it's really important for everyone to know. As you said, we never know what kind of problems will knock the door. What do you think is a healthy habit or a healthy lifestyle to follow to avoid these kind of health conditions?
Well, I would say there are certain things which we can do in our life. Again, the God has written, and that will happen. But still, at least if we do these basic things, what I have learned so far is, one, waking up on time, early morning. We say early to rise, early to bed. And that's not just saying. It is. So first and foremost, what I want to tell my audience is, one, be active, get up early in the morning, do some physical activity, be a small walk, pranayam, whatever it is. Yeah. Second thing, eat food which is which is suitable for your appetite.
Mm-hmm.
Be it anything. Some people say chapati, some people say ragi, some people say whatever you feel like in the quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that the taste bud what you talk about. Yeah. That's the third. Second. And third thing, maybe a health checkup, especially after 30s. Earlier we were saying 50s, but now I would say 30s. If you are in 30s, please do regular, at least a 6 months or a yearly checkup.
Okay.
These three things you do from your side. Again, there will be some one cases. Okay, I do everything, but still why? That's an exceptional case. But in general, if you do these three things, I would say that would be a preventive measures for you, and you can sustain your life in a better way. That's what my learnings are.
Okay, I think whatever you said, the healthy lifestyle, many people follow the first waking up early, moving, physically active. Most people do that. But what, I mean, in my experience, or maybe in your experience also, what we see is that people, they don't do health checkups.
Correct.
Right? So maybe in your condition, if a early health checkup or a 6 months or an annual health checkup, would that have helped you to diagnose it early?
Yeah, in fact, what in my case was, I had a hypertension. Yeah, so earlier, so that was diagnosed, and I was taking medicines on that. So I would like to tell the viewers who are on a hypertension for over the long years plus diabetic. So these two symptoms are long term, will affect your organs, and kidneys and eyes are the one of the organs will get affected. So yes, for me also, I was diagnosed earlier, but I was hypertension, and hence I was taking medicines. So for me, it was by birth issues. The kidneys were shrunken, and hypertension had caused the further damage to my kidneys. It may vary case to case basis, patient to patient. There are a lot of other symptoms which your health can affect. But as you mentioned, the health checkups can help you to be preventive, and then it will early diagnosis always help. And with now medicines which are grown, I know villages still that that reach is not there.
Mm-hmm.
But at least when they come to nearby places or nearby their taluka, wherever they go, and do basic health checkups, that will, I would say, help all of us.
Okay, so you mentioned about hypertension.
Yeah.
So how did this hypertension and your kidney issue, how is that connected?
uh, well, I'm not a doctor, but what my experience is hypertension is obviously uncontrolled, high blood pressure,
Okay.
which have 120 by systolic and 80 in the normal.
Mm.
But my case, I was from the college days, I had a hypertension because, as I said, there could be issues with my kidneys, and I realized it after recently when I was doing going for a transplant. That could be one of the case. But once a kidney is shrunken, because every day we don't go and check a scan or kidneys,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that came over the lot of, I would say, investigation.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, how it came that I was hypertension is I just was in 10 to 12 standard, and I went for insurance. And they said, yeah, you are not 18, you have to go for a medical checkup.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I did my normal BP, it was something around 180 by 100, and that
Okay.
it was too much.
That's too much. Huh?
And then they started giving a medicine.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was taking medicine, I was healthy. So what I have learned over the period of time with the doctors, and I have read about it, is if you have uncontrolled hypertension, because every 3 minutes your BP keeps fluctuating, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is uncontrolled hypertension will also affect your kidneys.
Okay. Huh.
Plus your diet, your preservative, your pickles, your salt intake, your papad and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Those also contribute, unknowingly your kidneys will get damaged.
Mm-hmm.
So these are few things might have happened in my unknowingly after I've done it.
Mm.
Plus my the kidney shrunken. Those have contributed to my loss of the kidneys, or the functioning of the kidneys was less. But I think, having said that, it was my example. It could be varying for person to person.
Yeah, yeah.
So other parameters also should be there.
Cool. So I think viewers, I think it's really important to do at least 6 months once a checkup, your health checkup. This benefits you if you have any issues, because we don't know what issues we'll have. So to diagnose that, I think annual health checkup is really important, and don't miss that. So now my next question would be, after you told about the how you diagnosed, how you told your family about it, how you consulted the doctors, and how you came up with the decision of this transplant. So after you started your treatment and the time you started your recovery, so in this between two phases, what kind of challenges or the lifestyle changes that you or your family faced?
If I recollect, a lot of challenges were there in terms of uh, staying. Yeah, so one is that I should be very hygienic, right? So I remember when we were going to OT as well, Operation Theatre, in the early morning. So they gave us a mask. They made us two, bed stretchers, and I was like, why should I go? I said, no, OT, you have to go on a stretcher, yeah. And then all of a sudden you're going to OT. That was a little bit disturbed, but they made us comfortable. So we went through OT. My wife was next to me, next OT. So we both were there. We just prayed, and both of us, that she went to the left OT, I went to the right OT. But post, when we had surgery, yeah. So I was in a glass transplanted ICU,
Mm-hmm.
and you had a lot of injection induced to you, and your brain is active. You are urinating a lot because the new kidney is implemented. So in a transplant, what basically happens is you get an extra kidney. You don't remove the kidneys, then you get an extra kidney. So post that surgery time, little bit you will have internal some pain in your body, be it for me or for my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one thing disturbing always. So you have a pain in your body, you have medicines which you are never exposed to. And I still remember when I woke up after my, surgery, I just saw next to me a lot of ventilators, a lot of machines, the ECG sound.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a little bit scared, right? And so that is something when you look back. So I was maybe a little bit you have to use to that environment.
Mm-hmm.
That was something new for me. I mean, everybody knew for all of us. So that was something I would say a little bit of not good part of the journey, I would say. But post that, when I was shifted, so they shifted to a ward. So then it was a little bit comfortable. So what I did, even I have read the blogs and whatever communicated or converted with my community, that you have to be independent. So more you become dependent, it will be a problem.
Okay.
So if I recollect, I after my surgery one day, obviously you had not physical strain. But the second day I started eating myself,
Mhm.
even though it was pilling, but I thought, made my mind that okay, I have to be independent.
Mhm.
Because more I become dependent, it will be affect your mind, right? So I started eating myself because I have ample time. So I was there about 10 days with full quarantine, mask every time.
Mhm.
And that is, I would say, for a hygiene perspective, I should be ensure that I should not get infected
Mhm.
and nor others, right? And post that I came to house. Again, at house was a different setup because I always be it in my hall or somewhere, but it was separate bedroom setup for me,
Mhm.
and then a separate bed, a separate plate, a separate water bottle, a different mask, and everything, right?
Mhm.
And they were cleaning every 4 hours the room with the phenyl and all that.
Mhm.
It was a little bit a tough journey for me because I was very talkative. They told, okay, you have to take a rest. They used to lock in,
Okay, okay.
in the door. Okay, you sit. But after 10 days of my physical recovery, my stitches were, little bit dried, and I started, spending some time because your empty mind is devil's workshop. You
Yeah,
tell,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
What should I do? Then I started learning about. So I told, okay, give me a laptop.
Mm.
Then I started reading because I was a little bit now physically I was movable,
Mhm.
and then I started reading about the organ donation. It's some organ donation certificate because that time I had this something. Okay, someone has saved my life,
Mhm.
and how do I get more knowledge about it? You have gone through a journey, but you should understand what the process is.
Mhm.
So I did a lot of certifications. I got to a lot of NGOs. So I currently work with Mohan Foundation. This is one of the India's,
Mhm.
biggest NGO for promotion of organ donation.
Okay.
So I did certification with them. I understood more about organ donation, about the community and such. And post also I had another NGO which is KWF,
Mhm.
that is Kidney Water Foundation. So I started learning about that. What happens is you have your own group kind of community where now you have gone through journey.
Mm.
Either you can learn something or you can share something.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that period of time I a little bit spent on that because that was a free time for me,
Mhm.
and that was a little bit I would say relaxed time for that. But as I said, it was a lot of restrictions, and just pandemic was passed away in that point of time. I was not supposed to go anywhere.
Mhm.
Entire 1 month at home, no meeting. Sometimes my friends used to come. They used to say from far away, "Hey,
Mhm.
hi,"
Mhm.
and those are little bit physical barriers. Your mind sometimes, okay, I'm fit, but still they're not, because if I get infected, there's chances of even they get
Okay.
infected,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And the most sad part is my daughter. So I
Mm.
can see, in front of me, but I can't go and hug her.
Mhm.
Be it my wife, be it my parents. So that 1 month period of time with the quarantine was a difficult phase for me.
Mm.
In fact, for all the transplant, recipients and the organ donors as well.
Mm.
But post that, I was physically recovering and a little bit in Miranda, I started walking, and then slowly and steadily the time has changed and the life has changed, and the back to normalcy. We started our journey.
Okay. So you might have searched a lot of places for organ donors, all those things, and finally your wife donated her kidneys, right?
Yeah.
So how was that? So you both the kidneys were not functioning for you. So I don't know about this transplantation, all those things. How does that actually work?
So basically, in India, there are a lot of transplant centers are there, and a transplant is a process of transporting one organ to a other person. Yeah, there are eight. I mean, you can not only your. If you talk about donate, the first thing comes to your mind is your blood.
Mm-hmm.
But blood is one part. But you can donate your tissues. You can donate your pancreas. You can donate your lung, your heart, your kidney. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there are 7 to 8 organs which you can donate.
Mm.
So with this channel, what I want to also talk about a little bit of organ, what happens basically. Yeah. So as I said, transplant is basically implementing one organ to the from person A to person B.
Mm.
Now there are two processes. One is a live donor,
Okay.
where you have a distinct relative. Is it your spouse, your parents, or your kid?
Mm.
They can donate legally,
Mm.
and that is legally approved. So you
Okay.
have to go to legal process and get that done.
Mm.
And there is another category called live non-related. So this is not related. Non. It may be your
Okay.
uncle, aunt, friend.
Mm-hmm.
So both the legal processes are different.
Okay.
And then the third category is a cadwire or a waiting list,
Mm.
where touchwood, if anybody has passed away by accident and all that, they do have a waiting list where they go a coma,
Mm-hmm.
not coma, maybe brain stage.
Mm-hmm.
Coma and brain stage are different. But in case a person goes in a brain dead situation,
Mm.
then it is just technically they are alive with the machines.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they do have a ample time, a day or two, where they can remove, extract organs.
Okay.
And with this channel, also want to promote a lot of excellence in India happens. A lot of people are there on brain dead situations. They're gonna die for sure. There's no other, if in case their family or if they themselves have chosen as a donor or like to donate or the pledge their organ to donor, they could be a real, I would say, a life survivor, because one person can save 8 lives. Anyways, that person is gonna, die.
Yeah.
So they can donate 8 organs.
8 organs. Yeah.
And so this is what I, in a short, a transplant process is.
Okay. So so when one kidney was transplanted from your wife, what about the other kidney?
So what happens is, God has given us 2 kidneys, but one kidney functioning is fine for us.
Okay.
There are a lot of cases where I've seen or not heard about it, that by birth, there are many people have one kidney.
Oh, is it?
They can live their entire life.
Okay, I'm hearing this for the first time.
No, even I was a little bit, when I got to know, then I was same question I asked to the doctor, that, okay, you are removing her kidney, but what about her? And she said, no, it happened, yeah. So, in fact, one of my uncle, he also had by birth, and he lived around 75, 80 years.
Okay.
So that's what God has, that organ where, it can sustain.
Okay.
So donating organ is not, especially kidney, is not that, you are putting your life in a risk. And in that transplant process, more than a recipient, the donor will be checked thoroughly from your hair to your nail.
Okay.
They will take minimum of 1 month of thorough investigation, be it your blood test, scanning, endoscoping, everything they do it. So that because of the other person, your life should not be endangered.
Okay.
So that's the process where a donor will be thoroughly investigated. If they're medically fit only, they are listed. Plus the tissue matching should happen. In God's grace, with our case, it happened. And then you should have a legal certification, and then they give you a surgery date.
Okay.
This is a process.
It's a long process.
It's a long process. So we are appealing with the government as well, that to little bit streamline this process, because some patients are physically fit, can go and do that. Because right, going to a government office or getting a domicile certificate, and even though you are a citizen of Bengaluru, you have everything with you. You have an Aadhaar, you have a passport, you have everything. But still, there are a lot of legal activities which has to be done. Things has to be a little bit medical and physical, mental pressure. That scenario. So yeah, so as an NGO, through we are also working on that, helping so that these are eased for these patients, so that the process is simpler and they should not suffer from that. But in a nutshell, this is a process that a transplant comes, an organ transfer happens. Before that, a lot of things happen legally and all that. And we do also have a recording with the things, because we should have a lifelong on immunosuppressive medicines.
Okay.
So that has been communicated to the doctor, will be recorded. My wife's statement will be checked, blank statement for 6 months.
Okay.
There's financially anything involved.
Oh, okay.
So all these things are very legally done. And in Bengaluru, we do have very live rated and non-rated a lot of hospitals. There are some private hospitals where non-rated also done. And then also we have a Kadwire list, where each state government, be it Soto, a lot of government, each state wise, they have a list where they, based on priority of your health, your age, they have certain criteria.
Okay.
If you're listed, in case if there is no donors for you, they can opt in that for a list, and based on the list, you will get an organ and your transplant can be done.
Okay.
And then there is a new thing which now people talk about, okay, I have a donor, but it's not matching. So we also have a swap, where let's say example, there are 2 patients come together, there is a donor available, for them donor available, but it's not matching for each them. Then they can swap.
Okay.
That also is there. Sometimes now the new technology called ABO compatibility, where your blood group won't match, but other things, parameters match. Now with the science, new medicines, you can also do that ABO compatibility. Even though your blood group doesn't match, you can do that. So people have a lot of options for transplant. I would encourage, if a young patient going through the journey, be it a lung and be it and kidney, what I've gone through is one of the minor surgery, if you think of a heart or a lung transfer. So this is about the transplant process.
Okay. So it's a long process, and I think after listening to this, we think transplantation is just a medical process. We go to the hospital, they match whether this is matching with them or not.
It's a hell journey, Naveen, I would say.
Now I understand, of course. So to become an organ donor, so to avoid all this long process, what are the few steps that people can do before itself as an organ donor, like to avoid these steps, all those things?
So we have a lot of platforms for pledging your organs. So be it you just go to Google and just do a search, you will have a lot of options. Our Karnataka Soto have a portal where you can go and uh, pledge as organ donor. Nevertheless, you should not get any thing, but in case even case of accident, so you'll be eligible to that. So you'll be linked to your Aadhaar card, and now the government has with the NAB medical health card. If it is mapped to it, then you are potentially there's no need to ask somebody. But now when you are not pledged, so then the next is immediate your family. So they you need to go and ask. And then there are a lot of scenarios where in a brain dead situation where the parents go to the family and try to convince them. So that's the process. But we do have a platform where they can go and pledge their donor organs, be it eyes, post their a death, they can donate it.
Okay. So, so you said that for a person to become donor or before the transplant, they have to go through all the medical checkup, legal procedures, all those things, right? So, if we go and pledge as an organ donor, so will that checkup everything happen at the time?
No, so as I said, it's a pledging only.
Okay.
So you're not donating it.
Okay.
Pledging is different, donating is different.
Okay, so this checkup everything happens while donating.
Only you are donating it.
Okay, okay.
What I'm saying is, in case in a post your death, if you want to donate your organ, that's what I'm about pledging.
Okay.
But God bless should come. You should be a donor. It should not happen. But in case you are pledged, it's the easier option where you can show that, and then again, even though you are pledged, entire your
process. Okay, that will happen again.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So now let me ask this, because there is one thing which, as per the even stats also, most of them in India still doesn't have health insurance. I mean, as per the stats,
True.
right? If you go to many villages even now, many they do not have health insurance, and the only health insurance that they depend on is if they're working in an MNC or a company, the company that provides health insurance, right? So what if that is their insurance source? So how important do you think this health insurance is for both a working employee or a normal person who is doing business?
I feel it is the need of the hour. The reason being, post-pandemic, we have seen a lot of uncertainties in life, right? Yes, you have a thought, why should I pay so much of premium where I'm physically fit, right? But you never know, right? Whenever never know, the issues might come to you. As I said, so if you have a corporate, please opt for insurance. If not, at least a top up, because now if you go to an ICU, daily you have a patient is there for 2 or 3 days. It'll just 5 lakh will just go off like that, right? So you want to hard earn money, if you want to save, a better option would be life insurance, yeah, or health insurance, I would say. There are a lot of other platforms as well if you're not working in a corporate, because corporate has a lot of leverage where you can opt in and your salary it goes off and all that. But if a person is not working in a corporate, there are a lot of government schemes. Now Pradhan Mantri also has a lot of initiatives where you can opt for it. You say that premium is okay 3 lakh, but at least you get that benefit. You can get benefited with that. A lot of private, if you're young, the premium is very less. You might feel that now I'm spending, but over the period of time, when you maybe after 10 years down the line, that money will be a boon for you. I mean, you will save money like hell. Imagine if I don't have an insurance, I don't have a savings, and I've gone through this medical journey, and I have to spend 20 lakhs. So from where you will get, right?
Okay.
So at least that point of time, it is I would say a support, and that is what I would say a relief for you when you see these unforeseen situations. And if you have a little bit of financial support, it will make your journey easier. I would not say
it will reduce the stress.
Exactly, it will help your mental stress as well.
Okay, so as you said, okay, corporate has their own insurance. So do you think this corporate insurance is really helpful? Say for example, now I'm working in a corporate. Tomorrow if I quit, again even corporates are uncertainties, we get fired, all those things are happening. So if I get fired, that insurance is lapsed for there, right? So do you think taking an extra health insurance outside for personal life is also important rather than depending only on corporate?
It is. So as I said, there are some benefits with the corporate insurance, but I would suggest that you should have your own personal health insurance, which you are paying the EMI. Yes, definitely at this point of time you'll feel a little bit long premium or more premium you're paying. But as I said earlier, over the long period of time, it will definitely a boon for you, because you are independent, financially independent with others. Maybe you're working, you're not working, you're retired or whatever it is, and you don't have someone to take care of yourself. But at least with this insurance, you can take care of yourself. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, okay, let me ask this question because this will be helpful for people who are starting their career now or something. So, once they start their career, once they start earning a decent amount of money, what are the few things that they should invest? Could be like this insurance or something like that. So, what do you think are the few important things that they should invest before starting to enjoy with that money?
So we see a lot of new journeys join the company, right? And what I feel for them priority would be one, investing their money in the insurance. The reason why we take health as very least priority. So tell me, how many people brush their teeth, twice a day, right?
Is it as in school we were doing it, after that
Right.
we never did.
I mean, that's a basic thing, right? But even though if you open your phone, there are a lot of apps when you spend a lot of time, money, all that, right? But when it comes to just go and check, they'll not have a single app which talks about your health.
Mm-mm.
So that's what I'm coming to. So at least if you're young, you are very young, your premium is very less. You try to opt for where you're partying, you're spending a lot of time on a movie and all that stuff. So that may be a money at least you can invest for yourself for your health.
Mm-mm.
So one thing tip would be for start early with your personal health insurance. Number two, now if we talk about the shares, right, or maybe mutual funds, not shares, but a mutual fund, which is safe for you, because you should be financially independent. And most of Indians are thinking on that direction because we have seen last 5 years or 6 years, a lot of people are investing. So keep your options financial. Try to be independent from the early age. That will help be a financial independent in a long time period.
Okay. I never started mutual fund. Still, one of my manager he told me start SIP first. As soon as I joined, right? So he told me, he made me sit. He explained what is SIP, all those things, and he made me start with one. So I think these are few things which we, the younger generation, we don't know because we have been brought up saying that education is important, jobs is important, that is important, but we have never thought that insurance, the importance of insurance and this SIPs, all those things. No? So I think so to be financially independent and stable, of course, enjoying is important. At the same time, a little bit of amount for ourselves is also
I
important.
mean, yeah, and as you said, enjoying is more important. You should have one passion in your life. Be it anything which you have to do your work for sure. Along with that, you should have a passion. But there is also basic necessity that medical, because that we take a least priority. Yeah. So you have a passion, you do about it. If you want to do a badminton, you go about it. You keep a healthy kind of your hobby, so that it will also help you, right? Be a physical fit, whatever it is. And also, as I said, be a financial independent. That will definitely help for a long time.
Okay. Okay. So post your surgery and recovery, all those things, how has been your life? So do you think that okay, I should have done this long back? Is there anything that particular thought I should have done this long back? Is there a thought something like that?
To be frank, no, Naveen. I mean, what I felt is post journey, I was a little bit energized. Yeah.
Okay.
Why I'll tell you, especially male, right? I mean, what I've seen, it might be wrong, but what my personal, experience is we never take a break for ourselves. So be it, when your mother is around, do this, do that, you're always behind that, right? And then little bit when you are between, you get a job, you're trying to settle down, but you have a lot of commitments. Okay, I had to do this, I had to do that, I had to get a job, a good maybe education and all that. Once you have that job, then little bit they'll start. Okay, you need to have a house, you have to have a little bit a wedding and all that. So you are in a cycle of your life race, right? Loop, right? And then you never give back to your that me time or myself time, right? But these 3 months, touch wood, you should not have this for everyone, but these 3 months I was completely out of my daily activity,
Okay.
and it somehow energized me.
During that recovery time.
Exactly. And I spent some good time in investing at what, like mutual fund. I was also like very keen on that, what can be done, because I have some time now, let's spend on that. As I said, I did some organ donation certification. I did my own certification which I had pending for a while. So this quality time I spent, and I learned something in that period of time.
Okay.
So what I feel is, coming to your answer, that yes, the if I think back, okay, what have it done? That past is past. You cannot change. What can we do better? Okay, I was not doing that. Now what? And post journey, I mean post transplant, I will be more active. I did participate a lot of now small 5K and 10K runs. I should not say call marathon because I'm not long runners. But to be physically fit, I do 5K and 10K, which are comfortable for me. I should not compare it with others. That was very important. Okay, he does 21K, he does 42K. Why should I cannot, right? It's up to your individual goals. What you have to do. You should beat yourself. Okay, you have done something good in last year. How much better you can do this year? That should be one goal. That is what I've learned, and I'm acting upon. Second thing, a passion. So what I've post journey, as I said, I thinking what should I have done. Now I'm enjoying. If I get an opportunity to participate, I'm an active, dancer. I do dance. In fact, 2022, after post 1 year of transplant, I did in my school, my daughter's school, parent function. So I did a stage performance there after long years. So I enjoy, whatever opportunity I have. I did participate at Dhol. So we have Dhol and Tasha team. So I go and participate there because that, the vibes and I like about that music.
Okay.
I'm learning that. Yeah. And then, as I said, badminton, we have a community group where I started playing badminton, running, little bit of, networking. So what happens is if you have a like-minded people, which you get a good kind of friends, you do have a friends, right? So it's up to you. How do you make a good friend, and how do you. So if answering to your question, I should not say look back and what happened. What I feel, what do you say in present, and what better you can do in future. That what it matters to everyone.
Okay. And you mean to say that everyone needs a break?
Exactly.
Not just work. Be it male or female,
Correct.
they all need a break because
Definitely.
now everyone are working hard.
Correct.
Everyone are working hard just for
Getting
money,
there.
enjoy,
Correct.
and those things.
Correct.
Your lifestyle has totally changed after this, and many think that okay, after the surgery they have to be very careful, do this, do that, don't do this. All those things, there will be a list of do's and don'ts. So after your recovery, what are the few things that you were doing before the diagnosis of this particular disorder, and now what are the few things that you're not doing?
One is weightlifting.
Okay.
I've been told that not to lift heavy lift weight. So I don't do that because that might affect my health. Second, I keep my body hydrated because that is something I've been told that I should be very disciplined with my food intake, what I have, the water intake, what I take, because I do have immunosuppressive medicines. I do a lot of medicines. Third thing, the outside food. Anyways, we were not eating much outside, but still it is now drastically have changed. Once in a blue moon, once in a quarter, we go somewhere out to eat. That has changed. But again, my wife makes yummy food at home, so I enjoy that. So you have alternative. You have to find what to keep yourself, especially your taste bud, right?
Yeah.
And then, there are certain, I would say, do's and don'ts. But I feel if you compromise few things which is helping your life better, I think everyone can do that.
It's
not
better.
only me.
Yeah, of course.
That is what I put an answer to your question here.
So Anant, one important question. This is, everyone, right from a school kid to an old person, everyone are doing this following social media, right? So we see a lot of health-related videos. Even doctors, they come on YouTube and they talk a lot of things. A person who has, like you, who has overcome a particular disorder, they are talking on YouTube and Instagram. A lot of things, they give health tips. You're sharing your experience and your story, but there are people who are sharing do this, do that, and all those things, right? So what is your take on that? How do you see these health tips videos or fitness tips videos, and how should people perceive those videos?
I feel it's a big no from my side. The reason being, a lot of people, as you mentioned, you have a 30 seconds, 40 seconds, do this, do that, you will change your life, all that. But what I feel very important is what suits to you. It may suit others, but it may not suit you, right? So you should have, like, you have a barber, right, which you have rely on, right? You have your own barber where we go shaving or cutting, right? So you have your own doctor, so that you have a family called family doctor. So please try to be a limited, because this is critical. You're talking about your health. So try to, who is very close to you, who know about your history, who know about your lifestyle, be in touch with them and be interactive. There are a lot of videos on social. They know who are you. They just go comment tips and tricks. It may help. It may not help. A lot of videos I've seen, drink uric acid, something, it'll, all that. So don't do that, because each person is different. Each health conditions inside is different. So it might react. Not only about the tips and tricks about the food I'm talking about, but anything which they say, be yourself, talk to some experts, your family doctors, and then react upon, rather than believing on all this social media. Yes, there are some genuine. I'm not saying everybody is, everyone is not talking true, but please try to refrain. I would say big no. Get it reviewed or get it probably discussed with your family doctor and then go for it.
Okay. We have come to the end of the show, and one last important question, because the lifestyle has changed drastically over the years, right? So people are migrating to different places just for jobs, and all the youth now, if they have a family, they'll cook in the home, and it's home food, and they will cook in a proper way. But people who are staying alone, leaving their family in their native or some other places, their only source of food is few members cook, but mostly they eat in hotels. And now we have this partying culture, drinks, food, outside food, fast food. So in this kind of lifestyle, of course, we can't avoid that because that's important too. And to have a healthy lifestyle in these years. So, what are the few things that you would say to the viewers here to maintain a healthy lifestyle?
Well, I mean, a lot of good list, I would say, but to sum up, I will have only three things which I would encourage the audience to think of. One, the lifestyle to talk about, healthy lifestyle. As I said earlier, yes, we are busy in our day-to-day life where we are working upon our own jobs. We don't have a home food, family around us and all that. But partying is once in a while is fine. But everyday partying, everyday eating outside, the preservative what we eat, eating is fine. But what we eat also is very important, right? So try to refrain, try to be get as much as possible a cooked home food. That is something. Try to avoid preservatives. We don't have a culture of sauces and all that. So whatever preservative you have it, try to reduce it. Yes, it is difficult, I do understand, but try to limit it. Partying also try to limit it because now it's Joe's and you go with the flow. But it might help affect your health in the near future. Yeah, that's the one thing. That is the one healthy lifestyle, I would say. Second thing, definitely say that the statistics are proving that India is becoming capital of diabetics. India is capital becoming a fourth or fifth capital of hypertension, and that the numbers are alarming because of a bad health style. Be it your eating habit, be it your we have a prime bingo and we have watching a series for entire night. I have to finish it. I have to kill it. Because you are again going against your sleeping at early morning.
Sleep cycle will
change. Your food will change. Your appetite will change. Everything. So don't go with the trend. I mean, we talk about trend is doing. Be yourself what you're comfortable. Don't follow somebody else is doing because health is the important, right? So try to avoid these things. Once in a while it's fine. I mean, everybody should do it. It should not that okay. But don't make a habit of it. Every day sleeping at early morning 4 o'clock and then waking up at 11, 12 o'clock. Try don't making that. And third and most important, I would like to tell about the viewers is about what I talked about earlier. So health insurance. Again, I'll come to that point because I've seen that crunch in my life. If you're not financially strong, literally you need to back somebody's. So please be financially independent. Live your healthy life. Be fit, and try to cascade or communicate what you have. Share your lessons. So I have gone through journey. I'm not saying that okay, because I've seen the worst journey. When it comes about a problem, what I've seen, we feel my problem is a very big problem. But you look at the different aspects. Because I still remember when I was in a first dialysis session, I had a 3 years kid. She was happily playing on a mobile and enjoying her dialysis session. And I was crying because it was a first pinch for me. Then I realized a 3-year-old can bear that pain and she's doing happily enjoying her dialysis session. Why I cannot? So don't feel that your problem is big. There are a lot of problems in your life other than yours. Try to face that. And the 3 tips which I talk about, please adhere to it so that you can enjoy your life and be fit and be healthy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anand. I think this was a fantastic show. A lot of lessons to take away from this particular video. So guys, please keep your health as a top priority. And of course, everyone will have different lifestyles and different financial situations and all those things. Please plan everything properly and ensure that you are financially stable because uncertainties are, it's unexpected. You never know what comes in your life, and we should be ready for it both mentally, financially, and physically. We all ignore a lot of things, and I think we should be ready for uncertainties in our life too. Let's plan our life, have a healthy lifestyle, and live a happy life. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel for many more stories like this.